Hey you guys, thank you so much for joining me here today for yet another Second Life lifestyle video on something that I find interesting or helpful in some type of way. My name is Sandra, and for those of you who don't know, what I do here on YouTube is I cover anything from decor to shopping to rant style videos. This video today here is going to be more kind of opinion-based, informative, if you want to call it that. It's not a rant video by any means. It's just me talking about the original Lara body. There's been some discussion of the Lara body versus the Lara X versus Reborn. I just kind of wanted to get my opinion out there on a couple of my, outlooks on the matter, because I do have all of the bodies in question. So I feel like I'm a good candidate for just, kind of giving a different viewpoint on the situation. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, you guys, so here we are. All right, so I'm just on the beach here by myself. I hope nobody walks in front of me or what have you, but, we'll see how it goes. It's SL, so you never know. But this is my main account. This is Sandra, and Sandra is, in fact, wearing the original Lara body. So let's go ahead, let me spin around and let you take a look at it really quick, just so that we could get a grip on what my Lara body looks like. Okay, so again, this is the original. This is not the Lara X, you guys. Okay, so I tried to dress her in something where you could see the body, but not where she was totally hanging out. I guess I could have put her in a bikini, but I think she looks really cute. Yeah. All right. And in this video, I'm going to be explaining why I still actually use the original Lara body, because I know there's been some talk over some people deleting the Lara body. Actually, I've watched videos on YouTube of people that have the Lara body, and they will be talking about the reborn body or what have you. And then on film, while everybody is watching, they're just like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to delete the Lara body right now, the original one. And they'll just delete the body, all the clothing, everything right on film. So, each to his own. I mean, the bodies are it's just such a personal choice, what you like and what you don't like. I'm going to be going over why I still use the Lara original, like what the actual reason is, because I do have some very specific reasons for why I still use it. And just for the sake of argument, if you're looking at the body and you're like, wow, that body looks a little bit thicker than I recall the Lara body looking like, what's going on? Now, of course, you could control the body kind of thickness with the fat ratio. Here, let me see. I can't remember even what they call it. See if I could. Okay, hold on. I opened up the wrong thing, guys. Let me see if this will open up even with the lag. Let me just see. Just so I'm telling you guys right. Okay, so yeah. Now, basically, you're controlling the thickness of the body with the body thickness and with the body fat. Yeah, among other things, but the body thickness and the body fat I found very helpful in making the Lara body look thicker. So just to let you guys know, I am going to be looking at notes as I'm talking, just to make sure I hit on certain points. But so yeah, body thickness, body fat, and this particular body, I do have 3 deformers on her. I've talked about this in other videos, but I do have a booty deformer on her. So if we take a look at the booty here, anybody who's familiar with the Lara original is going to be able to tell that her booty does look substantially larger than the, normal original booty size. Again, deformer. And most people are aware. If you don't use deformers, you wouldn't know. I had to find out myself by trial and error. But she is also wearing a stomach deformer because wouldn't you know it, that the bigger you make the booty, the more the stomach kind of sticks out. So you have to have a deformer for the stomach to bring it back in. So she is wearing a stomach deformer. And then she is also, if we could take a look here at her shoulders, because that's a big state of contention with people that do not like the Lara body. She is wearing a shoulder deformer. It brings the shoulders down. Again, for people that are familiar with the Lara body design, you know that there's an issue with the shoulders coming up a little bit too high. And it can look odd depending on, clothing you have on, poses, all that stuff. And just as a side note, if you think you see something under Sandra's dress, her skirt, you do not. It's alphaed out. So just pre-warning, there's nothing to see. Okay, so just wanted to make sure and say that in case you're wondering, nothing to see. Okay, so the Lara body here. Let me get to my notes just so that we could have some talking points here. You won't be able to see my notes, you guys. It's just something I'm looking at on a totally different screen just to help me talk and hit all the points. Okay, so now I know I've already talked about this before, but the first thing I have here is, do I use the Lara body? Yes. Yes, I do use the original Lara body. I've been using the original Lara body for years. I want to say over 5 years now. I do like it. I think it's a really nice body. I know some people don't like it. I'm just talking about my opinion here, you guys. So I do like it. And the reason that I continue to use it is because I do like the shape I came up with. I like the shape with the deformers. I do tend to like a little bit of a thicker body. Now, the Lara body is a smaller frame. It could only get so thick. It's not meant to be super duper crazy thick, but I do like the shape that I came up with here. I like the shape. I like it with the deformers. Without the deformers, not so much. With the deformers, I do really like it. So again, personal preference. It's just, that's how I feel. Now, what else was I going to say here? Oh, I wanted to say part of the reason why I use the Lara body is because over the years of having the Lara body, this is my first body I ever got in SL. And I had an extremely, when I got this body at the beginning, not knowing anything about what I was doing or what have you, I had a very easy time finding clothing for this body. So that's what attracted me to the body, and that's what kept me using it, actually, was the fact that, it was just so easy to find things to wear. Now, over the years, I have spent somewhat crazy amounts of money on the Lara body fantasy pieces. Okay, like not normal clothing, but the fantasy stuff. Now, anyone who's familiar with extreme fantasy looks will be well aware, that many of the legs and things like that that are made for fantasy type looks, like I don't know. Let me see. I should have an example here. Like say, if you want hoof legs from AII in a specific style, usually more times than not, they are going to be made to fit the Lara original body. Just like with the male body, usually you could find more fantasy related body parts for the Jake body. We're not going to be talking about male bodies, but I just wanted to make a comparison that is one of the reasons I keep using the Lara body. And, like I said, over the years, I have bought a substantial amount of gotchas and stuff like that from like Cureless and stuff. Now, Cureless makes beautiful gotchas, but usually they are primarily for the Lara body. And then sometimes you'll find the gotchas are made for Legacy, not all the time, but sometimes. And then here lately, she has started creating gotchas or, okay, this is what she started doing, you guys. I want to be careful with what I say here. Cureless, the designer for Cureless has started taking the old gotchas that were made for, say, Maitreya, and she has started rigging the gotchas for Reborn. I don't know how many other bodies she's planning to rig for, but Reborn is a big seller right now in SL. So she has started selling for rigging for Reborn. Some of her older gotchas that are not gotchas now. The gotchas that she's making into non-gotchas, meaning you could just buy them off the shelf. They're not gotchas. It's not like that. Okay, so hopefully I was clear on that. I do have the Reborn body. That's primarily the body I wear these days. But if I do see things that the Cureless designer has rigged for Reborn, I will grab those items. But it really depends. I also honestly, I'll be honest with you guys. If I notice that Cureless makes a gotcha into a non-gotcha, and it's for Maitreya body also, usually I'll grab that also, because like I said, I do still use the Maitreya body, and usually when a place like Cureless makes something that used to be a gotcha into a non-gotcha, usually it comes with a fat pack of colors, like a full head of colors. Anyway, you guys, I'm getting off the subject here. All right, so anyway, and I do have to say that I do go to a fantasy sim that has big elaborate parties where everybody gets dressed up in theme. It's a group that you pay for, and I have to say that so many of the individuals that get dressed in all of this extensive fantasy wear and make the most elaborate, beautiful looks, those people that are, I call them the old timers, like they've been around many years on SL. They have a lot of things in their inventory that are very expensive, very beautiful. Money's not really an object for how much they spend on their AVI. Those individuals make some of the most beautiful looks I have ever seen on any AVI. So, and like I said, you guys, other people could argue the point, but those people that I'm referring to, more times than not, they're using Maitreya because you could get so many fantasy items for Maitreya. I know that they're rigging more for other bodies now, but it'll be a long haul before all of the other bodies catch up to the amount of items available, unique fantasy type items that are available for them like they are for Maitreya. You just get more choices with Maitreya because the Lara body has just been around longer. That's all. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of talk about that for a minute because I've been so accustomed lately to seeing people deleting the Laura body, the original one, and talking about how crappy it is and everything. Like I said, each to their own, but I just wanted to explain that a lot of people still do use the Laura original body, and there's a reason for it. Yeah. Um, and as far as what I feel about the original Laura body being outdated, it's just kind of a sign of the times as far as what SL creators are now making clothing for. Now, I have talked to a creator before in the past, a pretty big creator that was talking to me about what a pain in the ass the Laura original body is to design items for. Having to do with the body weights and other things that I do not understand. Okay, I'm not a creator. I don't understand any of that stuff. But this specific designer I was speaking to just said that it's a pain in the ass, and that is why they don't design for the Laura original body anymore, and they actually stopped a while ago designing for the original. So there's that. So, you could take this information for what it is. I'm just kind of explaining kind of a couple things, a couple little outlooks and people that I've talked to about it and how I feel about it. Yeah. So, yeah, that's why designers have an issue dealing with it, and I could take their word for it. That's a pain in the ass to deal with. I get it. So as far as the body being outdated, I think it's the original Laura body is outdated in the sense that it seems to be very difficult to design for reasons I cannot even begin to understand. But I think it still looks good, and I do still use it. All right. So, and the question comes up, if I feel people in general on SL should buy the original Laura body. Now, this one is a hard one for me to answer because it's so much up to the individual choice. I think if you think about purchasing the original Laura body, I say you, I mean anybody. You guys know what I'm getting at. That if anybody were to get the original Laura body, they would just have to get it with the understanding that new items are not really being rigged for the Maitreya original body. However, and that is a big however, there are a lot, and I'm saying a lot. So many items are available for the Laura original body, it would blow the mind. Gotchas and everything else. Like you could just so much stuff, you guys. This body is so popular in SL. People still use it. And even if nothing else is created for this body, you will still never have all the items that are made for this specific body. It's not possible. So, in that sense, do I feel like it's a waste for somebody to get this body? No, I don't. I really don't. I feel like if you like smaller frame bodies, like the Laura original body, and you like the shape of it, you don't have an issue with brand new things not being rigged for it. If you start looking at the older clothing and items and stuff and you feel it, just get it, because even the genitalia and stuff, it's made to fit the Laura original body. You're not going to have a problem. It's not like it's not available. It's available. So, there's really not a strong reason to not get the original Laura, except for the fact that new things are not being rigged for it for the most part. Yeah. But like I said, you could go crazy going shopping for the Laura original, buying all kinds of like what you call older items for it, you're never going to get all the items out there. I mean, it's crazy how much stuff I have for this body. And yeah, so anyway, I was going to add something else, but I can't remember what I was going to say. Okay, so yeah. And as far as the price, I don't know. The price for the Laura original, I don't know if I feel like maybe they should lessen the price a little bit, being that actually, you know what? I'll make a stance. I do feel like they should lessen the price a little bit for the original Laura body because, you know, there's not new stuff being rigged for it. But the thing is that when you buy the original Lara body, you're also getting a Lara X. Like you're getting both bodies in the same folder. So in that sense, you know, I don't know. That's a hard one for me to answer, you guys. Maybe I don't feel like the price should be lesser. Maybe if they start selling the two bodies separately, then yeah, lessen the price on the Lara original. But being that they're both in the same package, you know, yeah. So anyway, interesting. If you guys have an opinion on that, go ahead and leave it in the comment section down below. But yeah, right now you get both bodies in the same package. So, you know, who else does that? Nobody. So let me see. And okay, so the question is that I wanted to talk about is, do I use, at this point, do I use the Lara X body at all, ever? Let me tell you what I've done thus far. I have not specifically used the Lara X body. I'm still honestly, see, this is the problem with getting a new body, you guys, is that every time you get a new body, you have to get everything for that body. And I realized that with the Lara X, it fits in the same footwear as the Maitreya body, which is fantastic. And it seems like most of the rings and things fit on the fingers and stuff like that for the Lara X, and the Lara original seems to be about the same. Sometimes I do notice a little bit of clipping going on hands when you have jewelry on there. But for the most part, I find that I don't have an issue with it. So there's that. But for the Lara X, I really need, as most people do, I think you really need a couple staple pieces to start relying on that body, like just to create looks. There's a couple staple pieces I need that I just do not have. I have not fully invested in the Lara X. I am going to have to mess around with it more as time goes on. I'm kind of thinking possibly over Black Friday, I'll grab a couple more items for the Lara X. But honestly, right now, I'm not fully in. I'm not 100% in on the Lara X. But I did make a shape for it. I do have it saved. That body is ready to go if I did want to wear it. I do like it, but just the fact that the thing is, you guys, that I just bought the reborn body about a year or so ago. And the thing is that when you get a body like that, I've had to, you know, rethink my whole world with the reborn body, like for shoes, clothing, staple items, fantasy wear, just everything. I've had to rethink everything. So it's kind of like just when the Maitreya people threw in the Lara X, it's like I just wasn't fully invested because I had just gotten, or I've been working on getting my reborn body to a point where I could sit there and make a look that's complete or an outfit that's complete. It takes a while to get there. It's not easy to change bodies and be 100% committed. Because when I sit down to make a look, I want to make a complete look. I don't want to make a half-ass look. So anyway, so there's that, you guys. So I'm just not, like I said, I've made a shape for it. It is saved on my appearance menu. Um, I plan on using the Laura X at some point, but I really have to mess around more with what shoes fit on her. If the thigh-high type boots and stuff that are made from Maitreya will fit on the Laura X. Um, stuff that I'm curious about. I realize the clothing won't work, but I'm questioning a couple things that may or may not work. So there's that. Yeah. So anyway, that's where I'm at with the Laura X. I think as I buy some more fat packs for my reborn body, I think I've kind of noticed that couple of the fat packs I'm interested in also include Laura X as a size. So, and the Laura original is not even included in those sizes. So, it's kind of shifting. So anyway, there's that. All right, let me see what my next thing is here on my notes. Okay, I just have here in my notes, what did I think of the Laura X when it first came out? Okay, because I've had a lot of people touch on a lot of different things when they start talking about the Laura X and what they expected. Because the Maitreya people that were working on the Laura X were not super um, in the public. They weren't making a lot of posts or whatever about it. And as far as I went, what I thought was going to happen is I thought that they were going to make a body for Maitreya that was a Maitreya body that was capable of getting thicker and having a bigger booty, but that you wouldn't necessarily have to buy all new clothing for. That's what I thought. It's just you can't come down on people for what they thought was going to happen, because the thing is I didn't know. I had no way of knowing. But that's what I thought the plan was. And then, then if new designers started designing more for the Laura X and whatever, it would not have been a big deal, because I thought the Laura X was going to be able to wear the old Maitreya clothing, but that's not what happened. It's just a totally new body. And like I said, it was a difficult transition for me. So I kind of shaped the Laura X. I put it in my file folder and I saved it, and that's about it. I have not, like, in other words, if I invest in clothing and items like that, I'm buying for Reborn. I'm not really thinking, oh, I need to buy for Laura X. It's more like if I buy clothing for Reborn and some Laura X stuff is thrown in there, yeah, I'll wear it. But for me to say, oh, I'm going to a shopping event specifically to buy items for the Laura X, that's just simply not happening. It's not. And to tell the truth, I still have several deformers on the Laura X. I find the body excessively similar to the original Laura. So it's kind of like, if I have the choice, I do tend to lean more towards the Laura original over the Laura X. Just because it's so similar, and I do like the shape I came up with the Laura original anyway, with the deformers. Okay, let me see. I think I have one more point here. Okay, what do I think of no more new designs for the Laura original? Okay, yeah. Like I said, some designers have been rigging stuff for Laura X, but they'll also keep the original Laura body rigged items in the file folder. But definitely I don't see a lot of new stuff being made for the Laura original. It just is what it is. I don't have anything bad or good to say about the fact that there's no new designs for the Laura original. This is the thing, you guys, is that this is the SL economy. situation is that when a new body comes out, it means that individuals are kind of, I'm using the word forced. I don't know. Yeah, semi-forced. Let's just say semi-forced to go out and buy items for that new body size. You know, like they put out the Lara X. They're like, well, I don't know. There's not that many free items for it. You guys, sorry. Well, then people that like the Lara X went out and started seeking out items for the Lara X body. You know, so it's just the SL economy. That's how to keep it going, like to make people think they need more and more. So it's not my opinion. That's just the way it is. So that's the reason for it, though. And you know, that's why even, which I don't think it was the right move. I don't. In so many ways, it was the wrong move. But like Cupra made the Cupra Cups, which is the small-breasted body. Then they made the Cupra Original, which is the very large-breasted body. And they should have made it, I've said this so many times, you guys, Cupra should have made it where you could control the breast size more without there being any type of deformation in the breast. But no, that's not what they did. They decided to release 3 bodies. There's the Cupra Cups, the original Cupra, and then there's the other one that I can't remember the name of that has more like a normal body that would be comparable to Reborn with a normal breast size. Well, you know, every time you release a new body like that, that means that designers have to create more stuff. And then if you want stuff for that body, you got to go out and purchase it. So, you know, it's just a way to keep the economy going. I can't say that I agree with the way Cupra went about it, but, you know, it is what it is, I guess. So there's that. Even though, and I do, just as for argument's sake, I do have the Cupra Cups and I do have the original Cupra. The Cupra Cups is one of my favorite bodies that I have, that I own. But, yeah, so anyway, there's that. All right, let me see here. This last thing I have, how do I think the Reborn body affects the original Lara body? Like as far as kind of people's outlook on it and stuff. I will say this about the Reborn body, and these are things I found out since having the body and actually working with it a lot more. I have to say that out of all the bodies, that the Reborn body is highly, highly versatile. You could make that body super duper thin. I've seen people make it thin, like kind of like a drug user type thin. And then I've also seen ultra thick the opposite way, like on the other end of the spectrum, we have ultra thick bodies with ultra large breasts, and it's still the Reborn body. So I have to say that the versatility of the Reborn body, I think, is very difficult to match for other bodies. All of the other bodies, including Cupra and the Maitreya original, you know, and stuff, they all have their kind of limitations. But I've seen some fantastic looks I did not even know were possible with the Reborn body. I think it's really amazing. And I think it's so fantastic to give individuals the opportunity and the versatility to make such different looks without having to purchase another body. Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of, so it's hard to compare the two. Just like I said, the Lara original that we're looking at here is a smaller frame body in general, and that's just the way it is. But I do think she's beautiful. I am going to keep using it, and I have no intentions at all over deleting my original Lara body and deleting all the clothing that I've spent years gathering and collecting and sweating over. on the gotcha machines and stuff, I will not be getting rid of those gotchas. It's just not going to happen for the Laura original. Yeah. So, yeah, you guys, that's pretty much all I want to share with y'all. Go ahead and leave your comments down below in the comment section. I think, others would be interested to know what you think. And I personally am interested to know, do you use the Laura original body, or have you just said, no, forget it? Do you prefer Legacy? Or I do have the Legacy Perky body, which again, I like it. It's very different, but I do like it. So just let me know what body you guys use. All right, you guys take care, and I'll go ahead and see you next time. Bye.